Hello and welcome to Ginger Prime. My name is Brian, and I want to talk to you guys from the heart for a bit about Final Fantasy XIV and why I think this is the year to start, or this is the year for you to return. There's an energy and electricity, and there's a mountain of information that's about to befall us here in a couple of weeks, and while I'll be covering that specifically, I want to help address the question, should you play Final Fantasy XIV in 2021? And there's a biasness to this video. Like, if you are new here, welcome. I would love it if you hit that subscribe button. YouTube says I'm not good at telling people to hit subscribe, so I'd love it if you did. Check out the content. If you don't like the stuff here, you can always unsubscribe, no hard feelings. It's also my intent not to waste anybody's time, so you can always use the playheads in these videos to jump to a specific section of the video. But this isn't really so much a script. This is just a coffee chat. This is me just telling you why you should play and give it an option. First and foremost, if you've never played this game, start with a free trial. Link is going to be in the description below. You can go check it out. Now, this is the ultimate of free trials. This is perhaps the best deal that anybody has offered you in terms of gaming. No upfront cost, no monthly cost. You can play all the way through Heavensward, which is a phenomenal expansion. And I'm going to talk about Heavensward in terms of how awesome it is, but also talk about ARR and the challenge that you might face if you don't know what you're getting into. Let's just be real, ARR, while I really enjoyed ARR, it's going to start slow. And I should probably define ARR, because you're probably new and you're like, what the hell are you talking about, you freakishly beautiful ginger? ARR stands for A Realm Reborn. It's the 2.0, it's the relaunch from the failed 1.0 version, which I played all the way through and came into ARR very excited. It starts off slow. There's not so much voice acting, as you'll see later in the game. The game increases its story, its characters, everything continues to get better and build upon itself. It builds upon a foundation that ARR set, and the payoff is completely worth it. And that's why the deal for the free trial is the best deal you can ever experience, because if you don't end up enjoying Heavensward, that's okay. I don't think you have even anything to lose. Your time, I think, will be completely rewarded, because Final Fantasy XIV, as a single-player game, not even looking at an MMO perspective, which can be intimidating to some people, as a single-player game, it is phenomenal. It's one of the best, in my opinion, in the series. Not just out of the MMOs. I personally, from an MMO perspective, would rank Final Fantasy XI higher, but as a Final Fantasy game, I think 14 really takes the cake if you're looking at it from just enjoying it as a story-driven game. Now, how does this get even better? Well, it turns out if you like it, if you like being in this world, if you like the characters, if you like the dungeons, if you like the raids, if you like the content, you can keep playing. The game isn't going to tell you to come back. You have the choice to play. And if you're like me with a family and a career and a life, guess what? You can step away from the game and you can return to the game itself. That in and of itself is the best proposition I can give you for Final Fantasy XIV as a reason to start. And if a reason it needs to come back, I want to talk to you guys about what we're going to see this year. Whether it's 6.0, whether it's some form of crazy, mind-blowing excitement thing, we're kind of speculating at some point 14 might go the new Genesis route. All of this is speculation and theory on my part, because as we continue to see them develop and improve Final Fantasy XIV, the question remains is that the reason why you should return, the reason why you should start, is if you think of each expansion being around a 40 to 45 hour single-player RPG experience, the more expansions between you and what you're going to see advertised, what you're going to see me playing, what you're going to see others playing and talking about, it's going to ask a lot of hours of you, and there's no better time than right now. With Outriders, as a game that I'm really excited about, getting delayed till April, note that you'll have plenty of time to get caught up, to be able to get back into the game and swing of things, even bounce out for some Outriders, have some fun in that game, or other games as well, and you can have a really good balance with Final Fantasy XIV in the mix. Especially for me, the fact that it runs on controller, the fact it works on console, the fact it works on PC, and rumors of an Xbox port coming down the line at some point, I think it's going to be a very exciting time for a lot of people to come and check out this game. Especially, again, that free trial, you can't beat it, but that's the last time I'm going to talk about it. So, let's explore the concept of the next couple of months. While obviously delays have been rampant in 2020, and Final Fantasy XIV is not immune to that. Starting in February, we're going to see this showcase. Typically, we get this kind of information in the fall, but what we're going to see is kind of the electric boogaloo, the energy of what we're building towards. Final Fantasy XIV as a series, like each expansion, builds on the stories, the characters, the world, the reason why you want to play through it and enjoy it, and not, I don't want to rush you. That's why I want to try to give you plenty of runway so that by the time whatever this next thing is coming, we're just going to call it 6.0 for the case of Steady. If that changes, we'll probably do an updated video to this. But note that whatever that's building towards, you get to be a part of it. You get to be a part of that hype. You get to be a part of that excitement, that electricity. And this is the time where most people come back. Most people play 14. This is the most interesting thing to me. From the 5.5 or the 0.5 expansion or patch, you kind of have a cycle for the newbies out there of kind of like 0 to 0.5. 0.5 leads into 6 or, whatever the next expansion is called. And that in and of itself is where you actually see the most engagement within the community as you prepare for the expansion. So you'll play from that all the way maybe through the 0.1 of the next expansion. You can end up taking a break if you're like, that was great. And then you can come back with the 0.5 and you have all of the story to kind of get caught up on. And you don't have these kind of little bit of gaps between each patch. It works out really well. So you get a lot of returning players back. This is the time where, if your FC or your group fell apart from a returning player's perspective, they're most likely back. You can get reconnected. You can build up. We can talk about what we want. We can talk about how we think the new jobs are going to play. We can talk about what changes we hope that are coming. We can also witness the Savage content, all the content of the expansion as a complete idea all together, and look forward to the future, which will be dropping more and more information. I think it's going to be something that you'll end up seeing running through the summer. You're going to see the return of the Ultimate Raid series, which is the hardest content I think ever designed. It's not something for me. It doesn't work for my schedule, but I really enjoy watching the Ultimate Raiders participate in that content. And it's something that is so exciting to see. And it's the fact that it's paired with what's about to happen. It ends up giving a lot of options for players to play. Now, as far as when all this kind of kicks off, February 5th is the date in which we're going to get that excitement stuff. So you're watching after that and you're curious as to what all was announced. If it changed my opinion, if you should play this game, you can just check the front page of this. I'm sure I'll have a video or 1,000 on it. Who knows? But you can hopefully hear the excitement in my voice. What I want from this video for you is that if this is something that's going to get you to move, whether to return or to start, to do so, because I would love it if February and March and April and the rest of this year led it up so that you're not feeling rushed or pressured to hit that skip button. I think that's essentially some of the risks that we run into with that, is that you want to be ready for the expansion. And if you're watching this and the expansion's out, I'm sure you're going to be excited. But the sad or the challenging part of it, not necessarily sad, the challenging part is that you're going to have so much content to have to get through, or time to to work your way through the content, and a lot of the conversation is going to be about the stuff in the future, and that's exciting for you. So hopefully, if you're watching this in the beginning part of 2021, this is a video that gets you to jump in. If you're watching it later, hopefully this is a video that gets you to jump in, but also a video that doesn't get you to skip the story, because I think it's worth it, and I think it has payoffs that you're going to feel appreciated. You're going to feel like your time meant something. And I think that means something. And so if you need any help, we have, I post, guides and things like that on the various jobs. I think that can help, kind of ease you into where you should start, as opposed to this should be just like, please do. And then you can check out the guides and things like that if you're interested in it. But that's going to conclude this video. If you have any questions, just let me know. Just now we're into the fun zone, or whatever we'll end up calling this. Our top comment from the last video comes from Wolf in Soul. Thank you so much, saying, I'm happy that we're going to get a chance to experience the game before buying it. I'm looking forward to that demo. In regards to Outriders, we're getting a demo on the 25th of February, which is a very exciting, another square-enix game. I'm very much looking forward to that. Also kind of applies here. You know what? If you play it, you try it out, it doesn't feel like it's for you, that's perfectly fine as well. Also, I want to kind of welcome in our new member, Tyler R. Thanks for supporting the Diaper Fund, and also to all of our members here on Ginger Prime. Really appreciate it. My wife and I just had a baby. The money does help us with diapers. That's where it goes. So thank you guys so much for that help. I really appreciate it. If you enjoy these videos, the best way you can help me isn't by hitting that member button. It's actually by hitting that like button, that share button, and that subscribe button. But I will say this with all sincerity, really only if you feel like I've earned it. There's a lot of junk out there on the internet. Honestly, I'd rather have the best community and not the biggest. So just kind of keep that in mind. Now, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for your time today. For doing so, you unlock the legendary and rare title of Mako Mage. Hopefully you can rep it with pride and you can lord it over your friends or your foes. You do you in that regards. But that's my thoughts about Final Fantasy XIV and the reason why you should play it in 2021. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully, and I appreciate your time hanging out here with me today. And I hope to see you in future videos. But until then, my name's Brian, and I hope you have a fantastic day, and I see you soon. Take care.